So if you have a leader on your team, you want to delegate to them, but they may not have that warmth and competence. Can you coach that into them?
Okay, this is a great question. So I want you to think of this as a framework. So what the research found, this is research out of Princeton University, is that there are people, most of us, who have an imbalance. So most of us are not a balance of perfect warmth and perfect competence. Most of us have a little bit more warmth or a little more competence. This should change how you delegate. So let's say, for example, you have a team member who is higher in warmth. So folks that are higher in warmth, and this also could be you. If you're listening, I want you to think if you have an imbalance. Folks who are high in warmth are supporters, collaborators, great team players, cheerleaders. They want to be liked. So their weakness is they are people pleasers. It's very, very hard sometimes to delegate to a highly warm person because they will always say yes to your face. And that is because they really want to please. They really want you to like them. So you'll ask someone, hey, can you handle this project? Oh, absolutely. But they don't actually do that mental check of, do I have capacity? Do I have the skills? Do I have the energy? So for highly warm folks, if you want to delegate to them, you want to ask them requests in writing. And very specifically, in emails to them, you want to say, hey, I would love for you to take on this new project. It's about this amount of work. I think it will take about 3 weeks, and here's the support you can have. Could you take a few days or a few hours and really think about if you have capacity for this task? That allows a highly warm person to really think about, can I do this without having to please you? Right? So that's a very different way of treating someone. So that's for highly warm folks. By the way, if you're listening and you're a highly warm person, you also need to ask for time when you are given requests. So if you are a highly warm person, your default is going to be to say yes. This also is funny for friends. Highly warm friends and partners will say yes to every social engagement and then cancel last minute. Right? So they're the ones who are like, hey, do you want to go to that thing on Saturday? Yeah, 6 p.m. on Saturday. I can't make it. I'm too tired, or I have something else. So for those folks, if you're a highly warm person, when someone asks you something, you have to know yourself. This takes confidence. So truly confident, warm folks say, you know what? Let me check my schedule and get back to you. Or let me talk to my partner about it and let you know. Or, would you mind putting this request in writing for me so I can really look at my to-do list and make sure I have capacity? That is confidence. That actually makes you more likable. So that's the warm side. On the competent side, so as a leader, you should know who on your team leads higher in competence. People who lean higher in competence love details. They love data. They love research. They love getting things done. They are super efficient, and they're less focused on being liked, and they are more focused on getting it right. So you know that you are high in competence if you are a Google fact checker. You know you are a relationship with someone who is high in competence if they are constantly like, I don't know, let me Google fact check that for a second. Let me just Google it. And that is because they are focused on getting it right. That is much more important to them than being liked. So for a highly competent person, you ask them for a request. You try to delegate to them. They have 15 questions. How long? How many hours? How much work has been done? I'm not sure if I can do that. What do you think about what XYZ says? They want to make sure that if they do it, they're going to get it right. So they're typically going to default to no. And that's really important as a leader to know that your request to them should not be casual. If you're going to request something of them, you want to give them as much information as possible to set them up for success. Highly competent people, they thrive with wins. So if you know that you have a task where they can very clearly win at it, that is a gift. You are delegating them something that actually gifts them competence. If you are a highly competent person, you also want to make sure that before you say yes, you have all the details, because there is nothing worse for a highly competent person than getting it wrong. We do not like to miss the mark. We do not like to fail. We like to make sure that we can get it right. So you want to set yourself up for success too. That was a very long answer, but hopefully that gives you an idea.
No, it's great. And all of that points back to the leader going, did I communicate this properly? Did I communicate this in the right way based on who I'm asking this task of? And that really helps with delegation. And you can see why the leader's going, wow, they were actually really thoughtful about that, which means I can trust them because they're asking the right questions and they're digging in. They're not just trying to please me.
Yes, and what you can do, a great exercise to do with your team is listen to this show Everyone on your team, I want you to actually place yourselves on this charisma scale. So do you think you have a balance of warmth and competence? Do you think you're higher in warmth? Do you think you're higher in competence? And actually place your team on this warmth and competence scale. The last section, there's actually one more that I call it the danger zone. The danger zone is for those folks who don't show warmth or competence. And this can happen with people who are afraid, with people who are withholding. And as a leader, we have to take special care of these folks, right? These are the folks that need us the most. So this could be someone on your team who their own awkwardness gets in the way of showing any warmth or likability or holding or hiding their competence. Those are the people who you have to make sure that you are finding whatever their inner or innate warmth is, you're finding whatever skill set they have, and you're stoking it like a fire. Remember, that's that aspen grove. We got to give them resources. And so the greatest gift that I think we can give as leaders is finding the folks who haven't quite found their warmth and competence and gifting it to them.
That's huge. And those are the people who also feel the least seen in the workplace. They often feel forgotten, and then they don't matter, and that their voice doesn't matter, their work doesn't matter, and so they may need that extra coaching.
Yes, and they're the ones who are doubted, dismissed, and overlooked. They're also very often underestimated. So what the research finds, the research actually looked at each of these quadrants, and they found that, as we talked about, warmth, they're people pleasers, they focus too much on being liked. Competence, these are very smart people who often forget about the warmth. They think that their smarts are enough. Our danger zone folks are the folks that have a lot of potential, so much talent, but we underestimate them. We miss their talent. And so one of my favorite things is finding those people and stoking that innate strength that they have.
Those are the people you go, oh my gosh, I had no idea. That's incredible. We had them on the right seat in the bus. We gave them the right level of focus and attention and resources, and they just flourish. And so we love to see that.